This is why there is so much bitterness towards the Serbs. No one knows exactly how many Bosnians were killed during the war, but it's generally agreed that the death toll was at least 150,000 and could be as high as 250,000. That's the Kosovo Stadium where the match is a week Saturday. It used to be surrounded by 4 training pitches, but now there are just 2 because during the war people couldn't leave the city because Sarajevo was a city under siege, and so the only place they could bury their dead, the only place where there was a flat piece of free ground, were 2 of the 4 training pitches. And so now the stadium is almost surrounded on 2 sides by a huge cemetery, and most of the dates on the cemetery say that people here died between 1992 and 94 or 95, the years of the Bosnian War. Alan and his family live right above the road that became known as Sniper's Alley. For 4 years here, they were virtual prisoners in their own home.
Standing here in 1992 or 1993, 4 and 5 was a complete menace. We'll be dead in a couple of minutes.
So the sniper fire would come from all angles, from here, from here, from here?
Sniper fire from this building, from surrounding buildings, from hills. The only safe place in the town was the basement or atomic shelter or something like that.
This is you?
Yes.
Alan led me to his bedroom. It was a shrine to his club, JLO FC. And the bed is blue.
What can I say? My heart is blue.
And the curtains are blue.
Yes, and the flag is blue.
And the walls are blue.
Everything is blue.
And the helmets? And of course, some war souvenirs.
It's a Bosnian helmet. This is a 600 years old symbol of Bosnia with lilies. Lilies are a symbol of Bosnian kings. And this is a Serbian helmet.
But they're the same?
Yeah, they belong to Yugoslav National Army and they had a red star here.
So these are both helmets from soldiers who are now dead?
Yes. You have to fight like a Bosnian. You have to play like a Bosnian with 110% of your heart. That's the most important thing.
But does that mean if you beat Serbia on Saturday, that will be a big step?
Believe me, half of country will be happy, half of country will be sad. And that's really sad.
Alan's father, like all men old enough to fight, did what he could to defend the city against the attacking Serbs. Although, as you hear all the time in Sarajevo, the 2 sides are not so clearly defined. Alan's mother is half Serbian.
On the 28th of August 1992, specijalci Miška, tako?
Yes.
He was captured by a special military unit from Yugoslav National Army. They were the only guys who had courage to come closer.
Alan's father was taken to a makeshift prisoner of war camp and tortured.
Some kind of Serbian SAS squad, something like that.
And did you expect to be executed?
Yes.
Yes, he was expecting that.
No, pomirio sam još.
He was, how should I say?
Ready to die.
Ready to die.
Already badly hurt, he was made to stand in the same position for days on end.
So you couldn't move even your fingers, and you cannot move because you were beaten.
And soldiers would be watching them?
Yes, all the time. The soldiers had shift and they were watching.
A već sam tada bio dobro pretučen, mokro krv, baš bio dobro.
So he was pissing blood and
Rebra, sve bilo.
His ribs were broken.
So how do you feel about the fact that the Serbian national team is coming here?
Znaš, te kad se čovjek podsjeti tu kup si odmah, ali nije to tu. Ja, sad atomsku bombu hoću u Beograd pa skočila dolje.
This is Belgrade, the capital of Serbia, the city Alan's dad wants to drop a nuclear bomb on. I travelled here in winter after I heard that football in Serbia was intrinsically linked to the war. I'd heard stories that some of the atrocities committed in Bosnia had been carried out by hooligans recruited from the football terraces of Belgrade. And they came mainly from one club, Red Star Belgrade, the biggest club in the country. Here at the 60th anniversary of the club, former players from 6 decades are remembering the glory days. "15 years ago in 1991, and just 12 months before the war broke out, Red Star Belgrade reached the European Cup final in Italy.
He scores!
They beat Olympique Marseille to win the cup for the very first time. The European Cup also gave the world its first glimpse of the Red Star fans in action. Their home is the north bank of Red Star Stadium. On these terraces, they staged some of the most dramatic displays of football support seen anywhere in the world.
Tickets for this match were sold out in 5 hours, and they could have filled this stadium 3 times over. No Yugoslavian side has ever won the Champions Cup, but you won't convince anyone of this crowd in Belgrade tonight that Red Star are not on their way to the final this year and that they'll be successful. The atmosphere is fantastic.
For 15 years, Zoran Avramovic has been the chief executive of the club. Through war and peace, he's seen things most football managers can scarcely imagine, and he knows all too well the power of the fans. It seems like the relationship between the club and the fans here is unique.
Yeah, it's absolutely unique. Absolutely unique. The club, like Red Star, has this kind of emotion between supporters and between the club. Something very different. It's not easy to explain, because I'm personally thinking that our supporters, they don't like average matches, they don't like average people, they don't like average players, and they push the management of the club that we must be better. So for us, every day is indeed a new day. We must do something with all this.
But they also have a reputation for being the most violent fans in Europe. I didn't think I'd get to see them in action when the Red Star game I had tickets for was snowed off. But it didn't matter. Red Star isn't just a football club. It has 27 different sports teams, and tonight there's a basketball game. Inside and out of the cold. It's against their arch rivals,